All right, looks like we're green. Morning, everybody. Starting this one off by saying that it's been well worth the wait getting the band on here. I'm joined by Glenn of Lines of Loyalty. They're just hot off a really awesome tour that I got to see them open for Static X, Seven Dustin Dope. Really great show. They have a huge presence on the stage and a real high energy. So I want to say if they're coming around your area anytime soon, please go see them and support. How we doing, Glenn?
Pretty good, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a pretty awesome journey. I think we did like 55 shows with Static X, Seven Dust and Dope across the US and Canada.
That was three legs so far, right?
Oh yeah, yep. Three legs on the Machine Killer tour.
Man, that's I can only imagine how you guys must have felt getting that for the first leg, like the nerves and just like the shock of those bands getting you onto the bill for all three of those runs. Is there going to be a fourth run?
Honestly, I don't know. That would be awesome if there is. If that does happen.
Yeah,
I know that we have a lot of one-off shows. We got some stuff with Through Fire. We got some stuff with Ra, some stuff with Smile Empty Soul. I believe Non-Point as well. We got quite a few things lined up for the year.
wow, man, staying busy. Any
Oh
time
yeah.
in there for writing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually, me and Rito do a lot of writing when we get free time and stuff, and I'm on an acoustic tour right now with Velvet Chains from Vegas, and I'm home today for Father's Day. I drove home in the middle of the tour. I dropped Rito off with his family, and then came back to Ohio and did that, and then after tonight, I'm driving back to pick him up, and then we go to Iowa, I believe.
man. I love acoustic shows, man. I would love to see some of that incorporated into any future tours that you guys get on.
Oh yeah, that'd be
I've
great.
heard renditions of it. Yeah, I've heard some renditions of some of your songs acoustically on other podcasts and just footage I found on YouTube, and the songs sound really great stripped down.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys are definitely impressive. Like I like the way the songs are structured. Your voice is great in any kind of like heavy, atmosphere, acoustic atmosphere. Just a lot of really great dynamics the three of you pull off.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. I think I want to say I think I started listening to you guys maybe a little over a year ago, something around there. And then my wife had randomly said, "Hey, do you listen to this band Lines of Loyalty?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I listen to them." And I'm like, "Why are you out?" She's like, "I'm addicted to that album that they have out." She's like, I think, yeah, she was very jealous when I thought I told her that you guys were on the bill for the show in Portland, Oregon just recently, and she's
Yep.
very jealous of me that I got to see you guys and chat with you a little bit.
Yeah.
I gave her that wristband that Rito gave me,
Awesome.
and of
Awesome.
course the hat and the shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, um, she's addicted to Blackout, man, and I want to segue into asking you how Blackout came to be and a little bit about what it's talking about.
So like honestly, it could really relate to many people in many different ways, honestly. It's a very
Mhm.
fun song to play live. It's probably my favorite to play live just because it's a fun song. There's parts of it
Mhm.
where it gets like lighter and we have everyone pull out their phones with the lights and stuff, and it's all blacked out and then they all got their phone lights, kind of cool. Gets everyone involved with that. And
Mhm.
Rito came to me uh with some lyrics and stuff, and he comes to me, he's like, bro, check this out, and he's like, I'm feeling dizzy, feeling good, don't take me out this, and I was like, yes dude, it was cool. Like it just felt like just really like,
Yeah,
let's go, and it was cool. And it kind of, we branched off from there and just kind of kept writing it more and getting it together and piecing it together piece by piece, and just kind of building it up, man, and it really became a really cool song. I know it's more of a B-side song kind of, and it doesn't it doesn't have a single out or nothing, but I enjoy to play it live as much as we can. We on this radio tour we're doing right now acoustically, we're uh playing it a few times, because we're actually on the road for a week with Velvet Chains right now acoustically for a bunch of different radio stations. Last night we were in Rockford. We also played in Madison. We did 2 shows, and it was pretty wild. 2 shows in one day, and then we got Iowa, and then we're in Springfield, and I think Lansing, and then Detroit possibly. So
How different is it doing like radio like shows like that, like acoustically or any other way?
it's very different because you don't know what you're gonna get sound wise, because I mean, PAs are all different, and I don't know if there's a sound guy always, and you got to kind of mess with things. So it's kind of up in the air, but it is fun to branch out with a lot of the radio stations, and they play our songs and spin our songs, and we appreciate it so much. And it's been really great. Our song "Hurts to Be Human" right now, I believe, is number 33. It's been on the Billboard for 9 weeks right now, on Billboard and
Awesome,
active
man.
media based charts too as well.
That's impressive, man. Congratulations
Thanks,
on that.
man.
That's probably my second favorite song off the album. It's
Thank
one
you.
that
Yes,
I
sir.
relate to quite a lot, actually.
It's awesome, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Um, so you were saying the Blackout to use kind of like a B side from the album, and it's not a single right now. That could
Yeah.
definitely be a single, man.
Oh, for
It's such a
sure, for
strong
sure.
song, man. Yeah, like I would say any song off of that album that isn't a single could be a single.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, for sure. My personal favorite is Because of You. That song's just super heavy and super cool, and it's just a really big riffs and breakdown stuff. And that song is pretty much anyone who's ever gone through a really shitty relationship, or a shitty time or whatever, and just push through it. It's kind of because of that, or because of this, or whatever. And there's a live video footage, music video that I kind of pieced together. Our videographer and photographer took the footage on the tour, and then I pieced it all together and added some stuff, and then threw it online. It's on YouTube. You could check that out. It's pretty cool.
I'll definitely check that out, man. I didn't know that that was out there.
Yeah, yeah. If you look up Because of
That's
You
the
official
opener.
music
That's the
video.
opener of the album.
Yep. Yeah.
Hmm. Definitely definitely gonna check that out. Your guys' music videos are they're big, and they convey, especially the "Hurts to Be Human" video. It conveys to me really well, kind of the intention behind "Hurts to Be Human," the song itself, or my addiction. Um, the next thing I wanted to cover is, I believe you said in the Portland show a little bit about what my addiction was touching on personally for yourself. And I kind of,
Yeah.
if you wouldn't mind, I wanted you to kind of go through that a little bit on here, if it wasn't too personal of a story, because
Oh, for
I
sure. For
really
sure.
love what what you're saying in this song, and I'd like you to share more about the song itself.
For sure. Yeah, so my addiction actually just came about when we were in the studio, and I was like, well, what about this? And I started writing that song um right before I got sober. I used to be into pills and stuff really bad when I was younger, and some hard drugs, and I haven't touched a hard drug in over 13 years, and it's been pretty good
Dude,
ride,
that's
like.
awesome.
Thanks, man. And I brought it to the table, and Rito, put kind of his flair to it, and our producer and co-producer, and Jimmy Beatty and Chris Dawson at Aphotic Studios, they kind of tapped into it a little bit with us too, and we all kind of dove in together and created it, and it all stemmed from when I was addicted and stuff like that, and kind of opened up a door for that song, and we actually ended up making a single. We did a video. Chris Kale from Five Finger Death Punch is in the music video, and little snippet at the end there in his car, and kind of branches off into what's next for the band, and it kind of, I don't know if you noticed, we did have a different drummer before, and we just, things didn't work out, and we got the new drummer now. He's been with us for about a year, and Braden Pike, he's out of Lexington, Kentucky. He's amazing drummer. And
Braden's awesome.
Yeah. And what's cool is, after my addiction, we kind of had to figure out like what's the next step, and we wanted to release something. And in our songs, we kind of released little pieces of our songs prior, you know what I mean? So like in Windless War, in the beginning, you can hear My Addiction playing in the radio in the gas station. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then in the car, when Chris Kale pulls up in My Addiction, he's listening to Because of You. So it's like, it's just cool stuff like that that's really unique and neat, you know what I mean? And then after My Addiction, we just kind of branched off and we kind of built what we were going to do next. And then Hurts to Be Human came out, and it was a perfect way to like just bring in a new drummer and a new video and new music and heading the way we're going and stuff like that, and kind of puts that all together in perspective.
Most definitely, man. And when you guys played My Addiction at the show that I was able to see, that seemed to get a pretty nice and strong response from the crowd, because it's very relatable. Because my addiction isn't just stuff like pills or
no, addiction is so many.
Addiction
things.
is many things. Yeah. And music is powerful on its own, right? And especially, it's even more powerful when the message behind the words is that universal. It connects people that well, and that's what I love about the album as a whole. Like, there's so much stuff on there that you and Rito and cover, and Braden, that like I could, like Windless War for me, like I went through a bit of stuff when I was a kid, but with parents splitting up, right, and abusive kind of situations, right, and so I kind of relate to that, because my mother was sticking around because she felt trapped and like she couldn't get away from it and get us out of there, right? And so I relate to the Windless War because of that. And then the other one that I really relate to is Murdered Memories. Like that song has one of my favorite choruses on the record. It's the chorus hits so hard, even though it's just a couple of lines that you're saying in it.
Yeah. Well, that song actually
what's the backstory on that one?
So we're with the label C3&B, independent label, and Ricky Storbeck is the singer on that song. So, that was kind of a cool feature we got to put on there, and every once in a while we play it live and he comes and, he'll perform it with us or whatever. And it's just a cool way to show, appreciation for, what he's done with us in music and everything, and why not give him a song on the album, you know what I mean? So like, it was just kind of cool to be able to do that.
Absolutely. I like what he did in that song with you guys. It's super effective. It's a vocal that I catch myself humming a lot when I'm at work, at home,
just awesome.
Doing whatever. It's just stuck in my head.
Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted to touch on is I Want to Be Human, the song itself. I was going to save this for towards the end of the we went away there for a second. So Hurts to Be Human, it's my second favorite track on your guys' record, but I feel like it's got the most powerful message on the record, in my opinion. The reason why is because when I hear you say "hurts to be human" in that song, and then other lines throughout it, it's a very universal like statement. Like, for example, like you make a mistake and like people crucify you for that mistake because
all the time.
You shouldn't yeah, you shouldn't make the mistake, right? And so, like, why are you making a mistake? It's like, well, I'm only human. Or like, you talk about relapse, and in the
Oh
song as
yeah.
well, and like ripping up photographs and stuff. Like you're only human, right? And it's like people expect almost like a kind of perfection from you, right? But perfection
Yeah.
just
Well,
isn't realistic. Go ahead.
it's just like, you could do nine things right and you could do one thing wrong, and no one's going to tell you anything about the nine right things you did to just focus on the one wrong thing you did.
Yeah, that exactly that. That's why the song hits me so hard. It's just I've went through a lot of that kind of stuff in my life, and I'm sure all of your listeners have, because I think that's
Yeah.
one of your guys' most listened to songs too, and it's for good reason. It's just so relatable.
Yeah, I think it's like almost it's getting close to almost probably a million views on the video right now, and the video is great. Juan Ibanez is awesome. He's a great videographer. He's done a lot of our stuff, and it's just really cool to be able to capture certain things. And I was going through some stuff. I was in foster care for a big portion of my life, and
Oh wow.
divorced parents and all that stuff too, and been through kind of a lot, growing up and in and out and all that stuff. And my foster dad, my foster mom, she recently passed away of cancer, and the video
I'm sorry.
shoot for the video was literally the day of her funeral, and I couldn't make the funeral because I was doing the video shoot. So for me, it's a lot of that. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
if you watch the video, like the whole like patient and everything in there, so like kind of stems to that for me at least.
Wow, that's that's really heavy, man. I'm sorry to hear about your foster mom. By the way, that's losing anybody in life is never easy.
No,
So wow. um, so having to do that on the day of her funeral, it had to have made that. I think that's something I picked up on in the video. Kind of brought an atmosphere to it, and kind of um, it kind of had me tear up a bit, just like watching the video for the first time and then hearing that was going on in your personal life at the time. It just kind of the stuff that you've been through, man. It just I wanted to say you really the way you write it out in your music. Um, would you say you wear your heart on your sleeve when you write because you
I
want people
mean,
to know the struggles?
honestly, the whole album is a lot of what me and Rito have been through, like,
Okay.
so I mean, and Rito, he's a big portion of it, man. He comes to me with all kinds of stuff and melodies and everything, and we kind of just pick our brains at it, and and kind of piece it together, and you got what you hear on the album. So, and we just plan on making more music and keeping it going. And
So there's no primary songwriter for what I'm picking up. You both bring things to the table, kind of like in an equal kind of way.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
That's
he
awesome.
does he does come to me with a lot of melodies, and lyrics and stuff like that too. So he's already got a good start on it most of the time. You know what I'm saying? Or it could even be one sentence and then we just branch off of it, or whatever. But it's really good to be able to have that with him, because writing music together with him and in this band is just it's cool. It's I get to be able to express things through
Mm-hmm.
music, and
Yeah,
so does he, and that's pretty awesome that we get to show that to people.
I couldn't agree more. And believe it or not, making music was one big dream that I had that just never seemed to kind of to work
Yeah,
out. And something I wanted to bring up is that I see how close you and Rito are. When I saw you guys perform in Portland, I saw that brotherhood, and I saw that between all three of you, but especially with you and Rito. And I thought that was really special, and it brought even more to the show.
yeah.
Like how much you guys just lift each other up when you're up there performing, support each other. It's very cool to see that kind of dynamic.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's me and Rito have been doing music together for over a decade. So, we definitely have a good musical bond with that aspect and being super solid and tight.
It shows. What I didn't ask this yet, and I should have asked it towards the start of this. What was kind of the beginning stages for Lines of Loyalty itself? Like, when did that start being something that was in your head,
So,
wanting to put together?
we were so right before COVID, we were on tour with Pop Evil. And right when we got done with tour with Pop Evil, COVID hit. And being on tour with them and being with our label and stuff, we got a lot of advice from a lot of people on some things and rebranding and changing a few things. And we took it in. We kept some of it and we left out the rest that we didn't think we needed to do. And we just kind of came up with them. We want something that was our own because Mixed Company before Lines of Loyalty, it wasn't our band. We were all just members playing, keeping that name. And
Okay.
we decided, it's time for us to do our own thing. So we did, rebranded, restructured, new music, new style, whole new way of complete 360. And we didn't stop at all. We just kept going, and here we are now. you know.
I'd say it's been a pretty crazy and impressive what you guys have accomplished in this span of time as a band too. Like, I can't congratulate you guys more and just commend you more than I already have or more than I already do. I share your guys' music with anybody I get the chance to because I feel like it's music that's going to help them in their struggles. And
Thanks,
also
man.
in turn get you guys more followers, get you guys more people listening, more people buying your merch,
Yeah.
catching shows. I get a big sense of family and community and the Lines of Loyalty.
Oh,
Um,
for sure.
um, yeah, like it's so awesome. Like, especially that fan page on Facebook. Like, I've only posted like twice in there, but I go in there and I look at stuff. You guys go in there, you're posting pictures, you're talking with fans.
Yeah.
It's interaction. It makes me love you
It's
guys
just a
that
way.
much
Yeah, it's a
more.
way to keep
Yeah,
together. It's a way to keep together with our fan base, and communicate with them and keep them up to date on things, and they can share stuff on there with us as well, and it's pretty cool to see.
yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought I had a new comment pop up.
Very good.
Uh, moving on. What was the next thing? What's in store for the future beyond your acoustic stuff you're doing into the next year?
Well, I know we got a bunch of one-off shows, like I said, and we got a bunch of stuff, just lined out, different festivals, things like that, and there's talks of possibly, we could do another tour. We could do a headlining tour. I'm not sure. There's just so many things that it could possibly be, and we just got to do some work and some planning and figure out what the next steps are. I know that we want to start writing on the next album. We want to have that out hopefully in the next couple of years, and
Yes.
this album's doing really great, and we're gonna keep rolling with it until we feel that it dies down a little bit, and then we'll come up with some more new stuff and just try to keep the flow flowing.
Yeah. Keep the flow going, not rush anything, just let
Yeah.
things happen as they're supposed to.
Yep.
Yeah. Um, Next thing I wanted to talk about, how is it that you had to learn playing the guitar given with the missing finger? Like, that's something that my wife brought up and she noticed it in a photo.
Yeah.
Was that difficult learning how to do that?
So when that happened, I was also a drug addict.
Okay.
So it was a little harsh. I was at a pretty dark place in my life.
Right.
In 2008, I had a tumor that was life-threatening, and it could have killed me within a month. It could have reached my heart, and that would have been that. It's the same type of tumor that was in Bob Marley's big toe that he died from. It's usually found the leg or the back, but it was in my finger. So had to kind of go through that, and I really didn't touch an instrument or anything for quite a while. There was like a year period where I just didn't. I was like, I don't want to do that. I had to relearn everything I ever wrote. had to relearn how to play really because my pinky took over and my middle finger took over
Right.
of my ring finger. So now that does everything now, so
Right.
I can do left-handed, but it's just not as like, this way I'm just in it, so it's a lot I had to go through kind of, but I'm here and I'm still doing it and got a cool nickname out of it. Now everyone calls me Nubz, and yeah.
I that just it's just more testament to you never giving up on yourself and what you
Yeah.
want to accomplish. And I really respect that. I know I don't know you necessarily, but I do notice that you're a fighter. You
Yeah.
know, and people like that. I won't say they're rare, but they're the kind of person that I only have undying respect for. Like you come out the other side of things stronger, with experience where you could share wisdom with other people that are maybe in it right now.
Yeah.
Um, so that's really awesome, man, that you're just pulling through like you are. The family you have now, it's amazing to see people reach that place
Thanks, man.
from the past that they have.
Yeah.
So next thing I wanted to ask about is, has there been a favorite memory from the last couple of legs out with Static X and Seven Dust and Dope?
I would just say the whole thing was really awesome. Everyone was super great. All the teams were great. All the crew was great. The bands are great. The very last show was just awesome. We all jumped around on stage with Static on the last song with champagne and dancing and jumping and poppers and party streamers, and it was the whole nine. It was awesome. It was really cool to be able to do that and to be able to share the stage with all those bands.
I've heard that Seven Dust is just really awesome with mentoring and like advice and just showing the up and coming bands just any little thing that they want to know. They will tell you.
They're all great. They're all great guys, man. And I talked to LJ here and there. I talked to Morgan a little bit too and stuff, and keep in touch with those guys. And they're great people, man. Becoming friends with those guys is a really humbling thing.
I would imagine, and that those are relationships that you form being in the kind of I don't want to say business, but doing what you do.
Yeah.
Meeting your heroes, like the whole thing about how sometimes they say don't meet your heroes because sometimes you are let down.
Yeah, I mean
it's nice to hear that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That is something a lot of people, sometimes it may be that case. You know what I mean? It depends. Someone could have a bad day. I don't know, but I've just all the bands we've played with over the years and stuff have just all been really nice and very not just inspiring, but very influential and helpful and giving us great advice, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Take every bit of advice you can. It's anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Mentors are valuable people.
Yeah,
very valuable people. So I wanted to. I didn't want to go here, but I did want to ask a little bit about the prior drummer because I did like what you guys did with him. Is that something that you guys care to talk about a little bit? In case people don't know.
Honestly, it just didn't work out. You know what I mean? Just wasn't in his deck of cards, and he did his part for what he had to do when he was with the band, and we had to keep going, and very grateful to have Braden in the band. And Braden's been nothing but a blessing. And honestly, I feel like this is the band. I mean, this is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's the sense I got when I saw you guys playing it. He looks very happy to be there. Just he looks like
for sure.
Yeah, he's meant to be behind that kit with you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's awesome that you guys have that. You finally found what the missing piece. I don't know if I want to say, but who fits that role.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just it's amazing to see that all come together and just
Thanks,
work
man.
out finally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Braden's such a he's a showman, and he's very humbling for his age. He's 21,
Mhm.
so he's willing. I'm 40, so that's a bit of a gap, but
I,
he makes me look younger. No, uh,
I honestly thought I was older than you, but I didn't know you were 40.
yeah, I just turned 40 in March. But no, it's been great, man, and he wants it, and that's what I want because we went through a few different people that, it just didn't seem like they really wanted it like that, and when we gave him the opportunity, he took it and he grabbed it by the horns and kept going, and he's been adding a lot of dynamics to the band, and it's really great stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Your guys' stage show, I wanted to touch on it. I might have
Yeah.
been just some of what you guys were maybe loaned to use by the other bands. I haven't seen an opening band in a very long time have the sound that you guys have live in a while. I was telling my wife that you guys are probably my favorite opening band that I've seen on any tour that I've. And I've seen a lot of opening bands, man. I've seen a lot of
Yeah.
shows, and you guys really left an impression on me.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it's we do have a sound engineer that comes to a few shows when he can, but those are all the whole tour was all house sound. We have our rack and our system, and we tell them what we need, and I got my ears, and we go.
It's a huge sound that you guys capture. Given that, man, and so I know we've covered, a nice amount of ground. We talked about, the future. We've talked about, the past, some songs.
Yeah.
I just want to express to you that it means a lot being able to sit down and talk with you about what you guys do as a band
Yeah.
between the three of you. Um, I hope you guys don't feel like you took too long, getting here because
Oh
when
no.
I asked you, yeah, when I asked you guys, I already knew that you had a lot coming up, right?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
knew it was gonna take time, but I was like, you know what? That's fine. Like my wife will get annoyed with how patient I could be with things. Like I'm always positive, right? And
That's
I'm like,
good.
it's gonna work out when it works out. And here we are, and I couldn't be more happy with how this talk has went, man. You're very generous with your time and what you're willing to talk about.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you for, having me on here and being able to do this.
Yeah. Um, and with that said, I wanna say Happy Father's Day to you, and I hope it's a great day out at the lake.
Thanks, man.
And maybe sometime down the line when you guys have some new music coming out, maybe I could have you guys come on again and just talk briefly about that stuff
Yeah.
when it's in the pipeline.
That'd be
I would
great.
love having.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'd love a part two.
Yeah, that'd be great, man. And happy Father's Day to you too. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you very
Happy
much. I'm gonna
Father's Day
go.
to all the fathers out there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, all the fathers. You are invaluable. You're everything to your kids, and never count yourself out, or never. Always have value in yourself is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, for sure.
so, again, thank you for coming on. For those that don't know, this is Glenn, vocalist, guitarist for Lines of Loyalty. Their album "Hurts to Be Human" is out. It's a phenomenal record.
Yeah.
Please check it out. Give them a like and follow on all their socials, and help spread the word.
Thanks,
Thanks
man.
again, Glenn. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go, and hope your day is a good one.
Awesome. You too. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Later.
Bye.